Hello my diamond art friends, my name is Ilene and welcome to my channel. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you for your continued support and friendship. I have a WIP chat for you today. I'm going to be working on the canvas that I am doing for Dark and Creepy Diamond Paintings, Have a Heart, Eat a Brain. This canvas I call I See You. I am using Make Your Own Wall Art, Purple Alien Putty, my Patriotic Team pens, and trays from True Vampire Art, and I'm also using a standard white tray. So let me go ahead and get you guys down a little bit lower so we can go ahead and start this WIP chat. For this WIP chat, I am going to talk about the eyes. And then I'm going to also give you guys some really fun facts about eyes, or some amazing eye facts. But let's go ahead and first talk about the eyes. Your eyes are a key sensory organ feeding information to your brain about the outside world. Your eyes do the physical part of seeing. The signals they send allow your brain to build the picture that you see. Eye-related symptoms are also key clues to issues affecting your whole body, so experts recommend eye health be a priority. I am going to put in this video a little eye anatomy chart because we're going to actually talk about each part of the anatomy of the eye. So what are your eyes? Your eyes are a sensory organ that allows you to see. Your eyes capture visible light from the world around you and turn it into a form your brain uses to create your sense of vision. Your brain doesn't have sensory abilities of its own. It needs your eyes, or other senses like hearing and touch, to gather information about the world around you. Most people are born with two eyes. Working together, they give you a field of view about 200 degrees wide and 135 degrees tall. When your eyes work together correctly, they give you depth perception and 3D vision. They also give you color vision. It's also important to remember that sight and vision aren't necessarily the same thing. Even though many people, including eye care specialists and healthcare professionals, use those terms interchangeably. Sight is what your eyes do. Vision is the entire process that starts with sight and ends with your brain processing what your eyes see into a form your brain can use and understand. How do your eyes work? Are you guys wondering that? Well, so am I. So let's go ahead and see what they have to say. Everything your eyes do starts with light from the outside world. Your eye structure lets light enter and pass through a series of clear components and sections, including the cornea, aqueous humor, lens, and vitreous humor. These structures bend and focus light, adjusting how far the light beam travels before they come into focus. The focus needs to be precise, and if it isn't, what you're looking at appears blurry. Your eyes have muscles that can make subtle changes to the shape of your eye, moving the focus point so that it lands correctly on the retina. When light lands on the cells of your retinas, those cells send signals to your brain. The signals are like coded messages describing everything they can about the light. That includes the color, how intense it is, and any other relevant details. Your brain decodes and processes the signals and uses them to build the image you see. So how do your eyes actually work? Human eyes are complex, and it takes many parts working together correctly for you to see. Or if you're like me, From a distance, everything is blurry. And now a little bit, as I'm getting older, close up. So I actually need to get an adjustment in my prescription for my glasses. But anyway, let's go ahead and find out the anatomy of the eye. And here again, I'm going to pop up a picture of your eye's anatomy. The part of your eyes include cornea. This protects the inside of your eye like a windshield. Your tear fluid lubricates your corneas. The corneas also do part of the work, bending light as it enters your eyes. The sclera. This is a white part of your eye that helps the general shape and structure of your eyeball. The conjunctiva, or this clear, thin layer covers the sclera and lines the inside of your eyelids. The aqueous humor. This is fluid that fills the space called the anterior chamber. The pressure of the aqueous humor helps maintain your eye's shape. The iris. The iris contains the muscles that control the size of your pupil. It's also responsible for eye color. The iris can be brown, blue, green, or hazel, or include a blend of brown, yellow, and green. I've seen some really pretty eye colors, like eyes that even look like, I'm sure they're considered blue, but they almost look gray. I have blue eyes. So what color eyes do the rest of you have? I'd be interested to know. Your pupil. This is a black circle inside the iris. It's like an adjustable window to the inside of your eye. It widens and narrows to control how much light enters your eye. Lenses. This focuses light that enters your eye and directs it to the back of your eye. The vitreous humor. This clear, gel-like fluid fills the space between the lens and the retina. It helps your eye hold its shape, and it's also known simply as the vitreous. The retina. This thin layer of sensitive light cells at the back of your eye convert light into electrical signals. It contains rods which helps you see low light and cones which help you see color. The macula. This small area of your retina is key to your vision. It's responsible for the center of your visual field. It also helps to see color and fine details. Optic nerve. This connects your retina to your brain. It's like the data cable that carries signals from your eyes, with connection points linking to multiple brain areas. And next week, I'm actually going to be doing a WIP chat on the brain and hopefully get you some good, amazing brain facts as well. I don't have a canvas of the brain, but I figured, have a heart, eat a brain, I might as well do a WIP chat on the brain. So that's going to come up soon. And the last part of the anatomy of our eye is the external muscles. These control your eye's position, alignment, and movement. They also contribute to your eye's shape, which is part of your ability to switch your vision's focus between near and far objects. So let's talk about some disorders that may come up. The type of conditions that can affect your eyes vary depending on the specific parts involved. That's because your eyes include a variety of tissue types. It has muscle, connective tissues, nerves, blood vessels, and more. Now, these are just a couple of the common conditions and disorders that affect your eye. Refraction errors. These are problems with how you see because light isn't coming into focus on your retinas correctly. Refraction errors can take many forms, such as focusing too soon, nearsightedness, or too late, farsightedness. They can also involve distortion in your sight, like astigmatism. Excuse me. I actually have a slight stigmatism, I was told my last eye exam. Corneal disorders. These are conditions that affect the cornea itself. They can happen for many reasons, ranging from congenital conditions, which we have at birth, to conditions that don't develop until later in life. Retinal disorders. These conditions can happen because of problems that affect the retina directly. They also can be secondary effects of another disease, like how lattice degeneration can lead to retinal detachment. Age-related eye disorders. These conditions are most likely to happen as you get older, especially after the age of 65. They range from minor concerns like age-related loss of near vision to serious concerns like cataracts. Some age-related eye diseases like macular degeneration or glaucoma are severe enough to cause permanent vision loss. Your eyes are also susceptible to more general conditions and issues. Examples of these are injury and trauma, congenital malformations, infections, and cancer. And what are some common signs or symptoms of eye conditions? Signs and symptoms of eye conditions can vary greatly. One reason is that many different parts that affect or contribute to your vision. A common example is how a metabolic or circulatory condition like type 2 diabetes can lead to vision loss over time. Some symptoms affect the surface of your eye only, others affect the inside of your eye. Some key types of eye symptoms include eye surface issues, eye appearance and alignment, and eye function of sight. Now, eye surface issues are irritation, red eyes, watery eyes, discharge, oozing, or goop coming from your eyes. For your eye appearance and alignment could be changes in the color of your sclera, such as blue or yellow scleras, or noticeably bleeding into the conjunctiva. Eye misalignment, including inward, outward, or upward or downward positioning. If you have trouble seeing clearly and properly, blurred vision is from refraction errors or specific vision issues like night blindness or color blindness. Decrease or vision loss, sudden vision loss, or low vision or blindness. Also, disruptions in vision, such as double vision or visual auras, bright haze, or splotches in your field of vision, and low light sensitivity. So how the link between your eyes and your brain influence your symptoms? It's important to remember that many causes of eye symptoms, especially sight and vision changes or eye movement control symptoms. And this may or may not be due to your eye condition. Some might happen due to a condition elsewhere in your body. For example of this is the yellowing of the sclera, which is when you have jaundice. So jaundice has to do with your liver. Just an FYI. The familiar saying is that the eyes are the window to the soul. But from the medical perspective, it's also like a window to your brain. Eye-related symptoms are a key way for healthcare providers to find brain conditions and issues. This is why vision changes can be a telltale indicator of brain-related issues like concussions and strokes. So just remember that it's really important to have your eyes checked regularly. So let's go ahead and get to those 101, if I can get that far. Amazing eye facts. Excuse me. Our eyes are one of the most fascinating and complex parts of the body. How do we really know about them? How do they work? We rely on them every day, yet we don't give them much thought until something goes wrong and our vision is affected. Here are some interesting facts that you might not know about your eyes. In a very basic form, eyes are thought to have first developed in animals around 550 million years ago. You can actually see with your brain, not your eyes. Your eyes function like a camera, capturing light and sending data back to your brain. Number 3. You see things upside down, and it is your brain which turns the image the right way up. I actually knew that. I'm going to sneeze, I think, so if I sneeze, apologies. I've been doing that all day. In a single second, it's possible to blink 5 times. You are likely to blink more often when you are talking. The eye is the fastest muscle in your body, hence why when something happens quickly, we say, in the blink of an eye. A blink typically lasts 100 to 150 milliseconds. The human eye can function at 100% at any given moment without needing to rest. Red eyes in photos is caused by light from the flash bouncing off the capillaries in your eyes, which happened to me like a lot, especially when I was a kid. I swear my eyes were always red in every photo I can remember. If the human eye was a digital camera, it would have 576 megapixels. On average, we blink approximately 4,200,000 times in a single year. We have 2 eyeballs in order to give us depth perception. Comparing 2 images allows us to determine how far away an object is from us. Eyes heal quickly. With proper care, it takes only about 48 hours to repair a minor corneal scratch. I remember when I was in elementary school, one of my teachers got her cornea scratched by her infant daughter, and her eye looked wicked for a while. I mean, I'm sure it healed just fine, but it looked pretty bad. The world's most common eye color. Does anybody want to guess? Does anybody know? The most common eye color is brown. As I said, I have blue eyes. What color eyes do the rest of you have? This one's for us blue-eyed people out there. The first blue-eyed person is said to have lived 6,000 to 10,000 years ago. Even if no one in the past generations of your family had blue or green eyes, These recessive traits can still appear in later generations. Oh, this is interesting. Blue-eyed people share a common ancestor with every other blue-eyed person in the world. Well, Jamie has like blue hazel eyes. That's my love, by the way. Ew, are we related somehow? Gross. I don't want to be related to him. A common ancestor. I'm gonna have to tell him about this. We got a problem. Just kidding. During a sight test, health conditions including diabetes and high blood pressure can be detected. Do you know what the number one condition that can cause blindness in adults is? Diabetes is the number one cause of blindness in adults. Research has found that a tie tied too tight can increase the risk of glaucoma in men. In the right conditions and lighting, humans can see the light of a candle from 14 miles away. Heterochromia refers to a condition where eyes are two different colors. Now I know that there can, but I wonder, is it Henry Cavill who's like part of one of his eyes is a different color? So like it's blue, but then there's like a darker color. Is it brown? I'm not sure. And now I'm probably going to have to look at him, which is not going to be upsetting to me at all. But like, I believe like one of his eyes actually has that, part of it is a different color. Anyway, let's go on while I don't want to keep talking about the last supermom. All right. Contrary to urban myth, no contact lenses can become lost behind your eye due to the structure of the eyeball. I've heard that before. Your eye starts to develop just 2 weeks after conception. Although our nose and ears keep growing throughout our lives, our eyes remain the same size from birth. All babies are colorblind at birth. Do you know if it's men or women that it's more common to be colorblind? Does anybody know? Color blindness is more common in males. A newborn baby will cry, but not produce any tears. Babies do not produce tears until they're around 6 weeks old. Newborn babies can see objects about 8 to 15 inches away most clearly. The older we get, the less tears we produce. Blind people can see their dreams as long as they weren't born blind. Eighty percent of our memories are determined by what we see. The only cells that survive from the time you are born until death are in your eyes. Does anybody know the average lifespan of your eyelashes? Well, I have it here. Eyelashes have an average lifespan of 5 months. If you lined up all the eyelashes shed during one lifetime, it would measure 98 feet long. Do we know what our eyelashes do? Your eyelashes keep dirt out of your eyes. Now, this is probably going to freak some of y'all out, but I'm going to go ahead and read it anyway. We all have unseen, harmless, microscopic creatures living in our eyelashes. Wonder what they look like. I mean, unseen, but I'm sure with like a microscope they could be seen. I wonder what they look like. Now, your eyebrows prevent sweat from dripping into your eyes. Does anybody know what the space between your eyebrows is called? The space between your eyebrows is called the glabella. Does anybody know what the most common cosmetic injury is to the eye? Or what causes it, I should say? One of the most common cosmetic injuries is poking the eyeball with a mascara wand. Our eyes close automatically to protect us from perceived dangers. About half of the human brain is dedicated to vision and seeing. People generally read 25% slower on screen than on paper. I'm very much a paper person, so I even at work when I get like new workflows or whatever that my job wants me to do, I like to print it out because I do better when I actually can read it on paper. So I believe that like saying that you can read, faster when it's on paper, perhaps it's just also in the time period of which we grew up. You know, younger people nowadays doing everything on the computer, it's probably easier for them, or just always being on some screen of something electronic. Electronics really didn't come like computers be brought to like myself as a late 40, being in my late 40s. I can remember we had like computer classes, I think when we were in 5th grade, could have been 6th grade even, but it wasn't something that was like introduced to us like right away as a child. When you read or stare at a computer, you blink less often, resulting in tired eyes. I can sure tell you that. My eyes are so tired every day after work. 94% of visible premature aging around the eyes is caused by, can anybody guess? UV damage. Reading in dim lighting does not damage your eyes, but it may tire them out. Dogs can't distinguish between red and green. An ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain. A shark's cornea is used in human eye surgery as it is the most similar to the human cornea. Do any of you know how many eyes scorpions have? Scorpions can have as many as 12 eyes. And also, does any of you know how many eyes a box jellyfish can have? A box jellyfish has 24. Camel's eyelashes can measure up to 10 centimeters long to protect its eyelashes from blowing sand and debris in the desert. As well as super long eyelashes, camels also have 3 eyelids to protect their eyes from the sand. Now, I do have what I call an arch nemesis, and they're bees. I'm severely allergic. I have to carry an EpiPen. And here we're going to talk about the bees for a minute. Do any of you know how many eyes bees have? Bees have 5 eyes. 5. I know they are so important to the environment, but as somebody who is allergic and can go into anaphylaxis from being stung, meaning my throat will swell shut, I just wish they weren't so venomous to me, because they do help the environment so much. The eyes of a chameleon are independent from each other, allowing it to look in 2 different directions at once. Geckos can see colors around 350 times better than a human, even in dim light. The cornea is the only tissue in the human body that doesn't contain blood vessels. Dolphins sleep with one eye open. The largest eye on the planet belongs to the colossal squid, and it measures around 27 centimeters across. Snakes have 2 sets of eyes. One set used to see, and the other is used to detect heat and movement. Snakes. Ugh. A dragonfly has 30,000 lenses in its eye, assisting them with motion detection and making them very difficult for predators to kill. The 4-eyed fish can see both above and below water at the same time. Snakes have no eyelids, just a thin membrane covering the eye. Goats have rectangular pupils to give them a wide field of vision. My favorite. Owls are the only birds which can see the color blue. Only hamsters, excuse me, try that again. Most hamsters only blink one eye at a time. Guinea pigs are born with their eyes open. Worms have no eyes at all. An owl can see a moving mouse more than 150 feet away. A scallop has an average of 100 eyes around the edge of its shell to detect predators. Now, owls cannot move their eyeballs, which has led to this distinctive way they turn their heads almost all the way around. Some people have a fear of eyes. Does anybody know what it's called? It's called omatophobia. The muscles in the eyes are 100 times stronger than they need to be to perform their function. Eyes are the second most complex organ after the brain. Only 1/6 of the human eyeball is exposed. Eyes are able to process 36,000 pieces of information in a single hour. In an average life, your eyes will see 24 million different images. Do any of you know the only 3 colors that the human eye actually sees? The human eye only sees 3 colors: red, blue, and green. All other colors are a combination of these. The human eye can see 500 shades of gray. A cornea is the transparent covering of the iris and pupil. Our eyes have small blind spots. The optic nerve passes through the retina, and our brains use the information from the other eye to fill in this gap. Smoking reduces your night vision. Our eyes are positioned in a hollowed eye socket to protect the eye. 80% of vision impairment worldwide is curable. Our eyes are made up of over 2 million working parts. Does anybody know how much an eyeball weighs in grams? The eyeball weighs around 28 grams. The eye muscles are the most active muscles in the human body. Eye transplants are currently impossible due to the sensitivity of the optic nerve. Everyone has one eye that is slightly stronger than the other. Just behind our pupil is the lens, which is round, flat, and thicker toward the middle. While a fingerprint has 40 unique characteristics, the iris has 256. This is why retina scans are increasingly being used for security purposes. When working at a computer, you should follow the 20-20-20 rule. Look at something 20 feet away from your computer every 20 minutes for 20 seconds. Astigmatism refers to a curvature of the cornea or lens, or toric lenses, and are prescribed to aid the individual vision. I haven't gotten those type of lenses yet. I don't know if I'm going to need them when I go for my checkup. I guess we'll see. When your eyes are watering, it may be a sign of dry eye or your eyes are producing more moisture. Let me try that again. When your eyes are watering, it may be a sign of dry eye and your eyes are producing more moisture to compensate. Does anybody know what are some good supplements that help you with your eye vision? Oily fish, vitamin A, and vitamin C can all help to preserve good eyesight. Although the function of tears is to keep eyes clean, scientists don't understand why we cry when we are upset. Albinism affects melanin production, perhaps resulting in extra sensitivity to light and a red-eyed appearance. Does anybody know why our nose gets runny when we're crying? Your nose gets watery when you cry as the tears drain into your nasal passages. The Mayans believed that cross eyes are attractive, so they would make efforts to ensure their children became cross-eyed. Pirates believed that wearing gold earrings improved their eyesight. And the very last fact, which is our 101st fact, is the phrase, "It's all fun and games until someone loses an eye," comes from ancient Rome, as the only rule of their bloody wrestling match was no eye gouging. Well, that is pretty interesting. So those are some 101 amazing eye facts. So, did you guys learn anything from any of these awesome, amazing facts? I know I learned a couple things. And I do want to thank you so very much for sticking with me and listening to this WIP chat as I worked on my canvas. I do hope to see you next week when I do my next WIP chat on the brain. And don't forget that I will be going live on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't have anything to do, I'm just going to try a live as I kit up the PR package I got from Outdoor Tide, the Night Owl Tarot card canvas. So I do hope to see some of you there. And as always, have yourself a nice day or night, whatever it is for you. Take care. Happy diamond painting. And until my next video, bye.